This is the first part of the tutorial series called Beginner's Neural Network. In this video, we will briefly look at the introduction of neural networks. But first, let's talk a bit about machine learning, which is a type of artificial intelligence method based on the idea that a system can learn from data. For example, if we have stock price data, then a machine learning model can learn the relation between year and price and can predict what the price will be in the next year. Neural network is a type of machine learning algorithm that is inspired by biological neurons. Our general computers are very good at solving complex mathematical problems. However, if you ask a computer to identify the image of a dog, it will simply fail or it may recognize with very low accuracy, even with the best classical computer vision method. But our brain or our neural system is very good at this type of tasks. So artificial neural network mimics the human neural system to give computer the power of intelligence. The biological neurons are connected to each other through dendrites and axons. Dendrites bring electrical signal to the neuron and axon passes the signal to the next neuron. In living organisms, learning depends on the strength of synaptic connection. Following the same structure, artificial neural network takes input from the previous neuron, computes a function and passes the output to the next neuron. Each neuron has associated weights and learning happens by changing the weights of the neuron. A single neuron, which is called perceptron, performs a very simple operation which includes multiplication and addition. If a neuron has 3 inputs and 1 output, then there are 3 weights associated with this neuron. The inputs are multiplied with the weights and added together to get the output from neuron. Additionally, a bias may be added to stabilize learning and help neural network to perform better. However, one single neuron is not enough to learn complex structure of real-world data, hence we stack multiple neurons on top of each other to make a complex neural network. It is called Multilayer Perceptron or MLP. Generally, each MLP should have at least 3 layers, one for input, one for output, and middle one is called hidden layer. Depending on the structure of data, there may be more than one neuron in each layer. The number of neurons in the input layer depends on how many features are in the input data. For example, if we have to predict price of house based on people's income and number of population, then the MLP should have 2 input neurons, one for salary and other for population. The number of neurons in the output layer depends on how many classes are there. In this example, we need to predict only price, so one neuron should suffice. But if the task was to classify dog or cat, then it should have 2 neurons, one for dog class and other for cat class. The hidden layer may have any number of neurons depending on the task at hand. There is no strict rule to follow. There may be more than one hidden layer. The more complex data, the more hidden layers. Hence the term deep learning comes, because as you add more hidden layers, you go deep. After all this, we need to connect the neurons to propagate the value. When we connect each neuron with all the neurons of the next layer, it is called a fully connected layer. This was the structure and form factor of the neural networks. In the next video, we will see the working principles and the overall learning or training process of MLP. And we will also discuss activation function and loss function. If you enjoyed the video and learned something from it and want to see more like this, please like the video, subscribe to the channel and share with your friends. Thank you for watching.